All right, guys, with 15 minutes to play in this game, nothing doing for Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers. Then all of a sudden, it's 18 points. It's an unexpected Packers win. Take me through it. What changed for Jordan Love here down the stretch of this game?
Well, you're right. What a comeback by the Green Bay Packers, down 17 in the fourth quarter. They score 18 in Jordan Love's first start here at Lambeau in the regular season.
Yeah, the biggest thing that changed for the Packers offense was, one, stop committing those self-inflicting penalties. Two, Jordan Love was able to connect on the outside 17 to 18 yards deep. That's always the weakness of a defense that loves to play man. Once they finally got into a rhythm, they were able to now take that, capitalize on it once they got down into the red zone.
Another big part of the story, the injury suffered by Derek Carr. Saints were leading 17-0, and New Orleans had trouble moving the football in the second half.
Really struggled all day long, especially in the run game. And then all of a sudden you see that when they needed it, they couldn't get it done anymore. They were trying to force the ball to Mike Thomas, try to force the ball to Olave. But without a run game, a really sustainable run game, you're not going to get a lot of productivity.
A game they'll remember here in Green Bay for a long time. 18 unanswered points in the fourth quarter to defeat the Saints, and the Packers win their 11th consecutive home opener.
Never a dull one in the NFL. Guys, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Goofy, fun day at Lambeau Field. Packers win their 11th straight home opener. Love this stat from Rob Demovsky. Second time in Green Bay history, the Packers have won a game when entering the fourth quarter down by 17 or more points. So yes, rallying from a 3-score deficit in one quarter is a very, very rare thing to do. You've got to be encouraged by Jordan Love's resilience. This was an ugly, ugly outing for the Packers. Really felt like a coming back to reality moment for a young quarterback and a young team. Love's fourth start threw an ugly interception. Saints defense had the clamps on this offense. No points in the first 3 quarters. Credit to the Packers defense. For a huge chunk of this game, it looked like it would qualify as a beatdown. Winning by 3 possessions is a lot in the NFL, but the Packers defense did just enough to keep this thing in striking distance. Derek Carr exits the game with a shoulder injury in the second half. We'll get to that in a minute. But from there on out, they didn't allow Jameis Winston and the Saints offense to do much of anything. And keep in mind, 7 of the Saints' 17 points came from a Rashid Shaheed punt return. So the Saints offense, all things considered, continuing to struggle. Offensive line gives up 3 more sacks. That's 11 in 3 games. Whether it's Derek Carr, Jameis Winston, or whoever, clearly that's not going to win you games because it's going to get your quarterback hurt. Carr leaves this game. We'll see where that goes. They're calling it a shoulder injury. They're saying it's not terribly, terribly severe. It doesn't sound like Carr's going to be out for the season, but he could miss time. Saints only had 1 possession that went further than 20 yards after Jameis Winston entered this game. So yes, credit to the Packers defense for keeping it close. And again, credit to Jordan Love and the Packers offense for finding plays that worked in crunch time. I had to laugh. They had a possession where they got most of the way down the field with defensive pass interference penalties, but hey, that works too. Draw those flags, do what you can, especially in a game like this. I thought it was so impressive from a guy with so few starts, with such little NFL experience. On top of that, remember how the Packers game ended last week. They were up 2 possessions themselves in Atlanta, completely fell apart. So you got to sit here and wonder how a young team processes that, how you learn how to win in crunch time. Typically, you think this is the type of thing that takes a whole season or maybe even multiple years to figure out. The Packers do it in 1 week, from total collapse to a total rally in the span of 7 days. That's a lot of fun. Saints had a walk-off field goal attempt from Blake Grupe, the first-year kicker, misses from 46 yards with a minute to play. A weird one. Saints offense, whether it's with Derek Carr or Jameis Winston, you got to be wondering what the hell you can do to get this thing back on track. It has not looked pretty in any of these 3 games. They scored, 20 against the Panthers, 16 against the Titans, and now 17 against the Packers. Their defense is very, very good, but less than 20 points is going to wind up getting you into a lot of frustrating games and probably a lot of losses. Not a game that they're going to feel good about. They're going to feel like this is a missed opportunity. And honestly, it was, but that's not Jordan Love's problem. That's a hell of a feather in the cap of a young developing quarterback and an impressive way to close things out.